Today I drew the Crazy Sexy Love Notes from Chris Carr and Lori Porca. And today I drew this one, which I thought was a good one. Your purpose is joy. Your purpose has nothing to do with how you make a living. That is your vocation, mission, or inspired passion. All worthy, but your purpose is much simpler and bigger. Your purpose is joy. It's about discovering, nurturing, and celebrating who you truly are, and knowing and loving yourself at the deepest level. I just love this card. I wanted to take you on a quick visualization. I have my gratitude drops with me today, so I'm going to use those. I'm just doing one drop because sometimes I find some of these are a little too... I'm rubbing it between my hands and taking a breath. And then I'm going to rub it just on my arms because it smells great, by the way. So today I'm going to take you on a short little journey in a meditation. So let's start by breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Let all the breath out. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. And if you didn't sit comfortably, move yourself around so that you're sitting comfortably in your chair. I should have told you that in the beginning. But sit comfortably and close your eyes. You could take a few more breaths in and out. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. One more in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Let your eyes get really, really, really heavy. And find yourself in some space that's your favorite space. It might be the beach, or it could be a forest, or it could just be a grassy yard, grassy knoll. But let it be your favorite space. And in this space, I want you to walk until you find this comfortable place to sit, whatever that may be. It could be a bench, or a chair, or a stool, or maybe a log, but a comfortable place. Find yourself amongst all the noises of the woods or the landscape wherever you are. Maybe there's flowers or a soft breeze blowing, and maybe things are swaying in the wind. And in this swaying, you're going to find maybe animals or flowers or critters of some kind. You're going to find whatever you need is going to come to you, whatever your inspiration is. Whatever that may be. It could be almost anything. And as you sit there and wonder and you see and you look around, pretend that you could see everywhere. You could see everything. You could see as far as the eyes could possibly see. Just your eyes are closed, so it's not hard to pretend that, right? So just pretend that you could find all these interesting things that you could draw, or you could connect with, or that would be important for you, whatever that may be. And let something, whatever that something may be, it could be an animal, a tree, a flower, a rock, the water itself, let that draw you in. What's there for you? Get closer to whatever that thing may be. Find that thing. Can you pick it up and hold it? Can you smell it? Can you pet it? Can you ask it to let you pick it, if it's a flower, for instance? Is it a special kind of flower, or a special leaf that you found on the ground, or a special animal that means something to you? Let that speak to you for a little while. And now that you know what that thing is, I want you to really, really look at it. Look at that thing, because that's what you're going to... When we're done here, I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you a story. But for now, I want you to see whatever that pattern could be with whatever that thing is. And that's what you're going to work on, is a whole complete pattern in your journal. So you're going to use whatever this thing is and continue to draw it over and over and over again in a million different ways, or the same way, or different sizes, big or small. And you're going to create a pattern with this thing, whatever that means for you. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you to take another deep breath and let it go. And somehow bring back this item with you, whatever that may be, so you can remember what it is. And in a few seconds, when you feel comfortable and you know what your item is, you can open your eyes and come back and think about drawing that pattern. So today, actually, I'm just going to finish from here because I think this is important. So I've been feeling flat in my artwork. I've been feeling a little empty. So this is what this exercise is going to be about, a way to get back to ourselves, right? So now come back fully to wherever you are and join us. And open your eyes. And you could draw a little sketch if you have your notebook right there by your side. You could draw a little sketch right now while I'm talking to you. But I wanted to show you something that sort of felt important to me, right? So I have a favorite artist. Her name is Teachable. A few years ago, she had a stroke in surgery. And she pretty much no longer has a practice where she used to teach classes and things like that. And I loved her style. You could look her up. She has a few YouTube videos that are very insightful. Really enjoyed them. But I modeled this book I'm about to show you from something that she taught. So this is watercolor paper that I folded. It's smooth watercolor paper to make this journal, right? And then I just painted the backgrounds. And then this is an unfinished, this is why I'm talking to you about it. I've had this journal for a long time and I've never finished it. And I feel like I want to finish this now. So that's why I'm talking to you about this, because this is a style of painting that, or a style of having a journal page that I think is fun. So in this particular journal page, which is the one I wanted to talk about, she talks about mindlessly going through a magazine and pulling out images that mean something to you and creating a border of odd sizes and whatever and gluing it around your border before you get started on the main image. Now, someday I'm going to teach you about what the main image is, but for this week, we're going to use pattern. We're just going to create our own main image in here. We're going to create a pattern through here. This isn't really, so I'm combining her style and my style, right? So I like the idea of a border. So I've put this border around here, and it's just a bunch of mismatched pieces of cutout magazines that I thought were interesting. You know, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, maybe this is a little more like 1.5 inches in spots, to create this border. And all I did was paint with a few colors, kind of an ombre effect, right? So I did yellow, pinky, and I kind of smushed it together and created this orange in the middle. So that's all I did. So this is what you're going to make as your pattern page, right? You can color this in, paint this in, whatever you want to do afterwards. But whatever that image was that you got, you're going to create call it a doodle page, but you're going to create a pattern, a repetitive pattern somehow throughout your page. Make sure you make some kind of a border. You could hand draw a border if you really wanted to, but I loved this where I cut out patterns that I found in a magazine, and Tisha says, don't think about it, just rip them out. And then I cut them smaller size so that I could get them in the journal, right? So that's what this page is. And I'm just going to create my pattern through here. Now, the other thing she does is she does pen work on these. So if you have these one for all pens, I have a black and a white one. Some of you I know told me you got the colored ones. These work great, or you could use the Sharpie paint pens. These work great on these magazine images. So that you can kind of make them your own. You could kind of draw or write or do whatever. Like I started here making the number 2, like I was going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. And then I was going to do some more doodles. Now on this page, let's see, can you see it? On this page, there's a border on here, but then I took and I created, even though this was a piece of rug up here. So I took and I created some paint pen images on there with my Sharpie. You can see some of them up here. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot. There. So that's what I had done in this page, right? So you can make them your own by using paint pens. But the bulk of the exercise is to create a repetitive pattern on this, whatever page you choose, I like having a background. You might want to paint it in afterwards. You do you, that's okay. But repetitive, whatever you saw in our journey, that's what you're going to do here. Again, I just took interesting patterns I found in a magazine. I cut them out, whatever. I made them thin and thick, so they're all uneven. You can see I took this cascading floral thing and I put it down one side because I really thought that was cool. And then I'm going to do my repetitive pattern. Now, could you have 1, 2, 3 patterns in there? Of course you could. If you think about Zentangle, you could do something Zentangle-ish. You could look up patterns in there and use that. But the main part of this exercise is to see what you found that you could repeat from nature. That would be a repetitive pattern in here. It could be a wave. It could be a flower. It could be the shape of a rock that you found. It could be a piece of wood, a shape of a piece of wood, and then you could doodle in each shape. But repetitiveness is what we're going for, okay? And that is your exercise for this week. I've been feeling flat all week, like I haven't done enough artwork lately, and I've just been not feeling it. So this is my ticket back, right? I'm going back to my roots. Do you ever feel like you need to go back to your roots sometimes? That's what I'm doing. So I'm inviting you, if you have some roots that you need to get back to, especially in your artwork, think about that. What are those roots? Anything could be repetitive. Ooh, I see my feathers that we made back there. So feathers are another repetitive pattern that you could use. You could use mushrooms, feathers, maybe it's an orb. Maybe you saw the moon. Maybe that's a repetitive pattern. Think about what repetitive pattern you're going to put on your page, but then also do that border.